Hi YouTube! So if you are one of the 3 people who watched my first video, amazing! Welcome back! This is so exciting. So today we're going to talk about 20 creative apartment marketing strategies that you can use to get more leads and more leases signed in your community. So obviously there's the super obvious stuff. You want to make sure that you're using Facebook and Facebook Marketplace, that your that your online website is optimized, that you're posting to any place that you can post for free or that is within your budget. However, there are definitely a lot of different ways to reach new people, so we're going to talk about 20 different ideas today. So, number 1, hard hat tours. So if you are a new construction community, like I am, you can host hard hat tours. So basically you can get little construction hats, you can tape or map out kind of a route to walk people, even when your community is under construction, and it's really fun. It's kind of a novelty, and it really gets people involved because they can see the community before it's done and then also after when they actually move in, which is really cool. Next thing is to host a barbecue event. So this is really fun, especially over the summer, especially if you have a pool at your property. You can host a community barbecue or community pool party. And hosting community events is a really great way to bring people here who might not really be ready or interested for themselves to run. But by bringing new people to your community, they can see how great it is, they can see, how awesome the location is, and the next time that they know of someone that's looking for an apartment community, yours is going to be one of the first ones to come to mind. So you can also host a food truck night. So this is super popular with residents and also just in terms of community events. So you can host a night and post it around town and people can come. Check out local vendors. You can even set up a little community market with food truck vendors. Next on the list is candy gifts. So you can have a little bowl, fill it with candy, and on the candies you can print out little stickers. You can do this really easy. You can get labels at Office Depot, run them through your printer with your contact info, and then just stick your contact info on the candies. So you can put looking for your next apartment, call me. And then you can add your phone number, and you can leave those bowls with your contact info and your little sweets at doctor's offices, in lobbies, in a bunch of different places. So next is attend local markets or bridal shows. So you may not be able to get a table at a local market because you're not really a vendor that's selling anything, but a lot of times if you sponsor a part of the market, then they will give you a table, and you can always set up shop, have little freebies to give away, have copies of their floor plans, and bridal shows. So bridal shows, you might think that people getting married might want to purchase their own house, but that's not necessarily the case. A lot of people don't want the hassle of purchasing a house, dealing with all of their maintenance, paying all of their own utilities, and doing all of that. But if you have people who are moving in together, a lot of times they do want a new space. So they're not trying to cram 2 people into one person's apartment. So that can also be a great option. Next one is deliver pizzas to office lunchrooms. So you can call up some employers in your area, you can have pizzas sent to them, and you can include your contact info when they deliver. Next thing is send a fancy invite to HR director. So if, in my area, we have a big university, we have a pretty substantial hospital and hospital health system, so you can send invitations to HR directors of those major employers, inviting them to visit your community or inviting them to call you because you would like to talk to them about offering discounts or a preferred employer program to those employers. Next thing is add your business as a stop for a bike or running club. So a lot of towns and areas have local running clubs or cycling clubs. So what you can do is basically set yourself up as a stop. So you can add your community to their route. You can set up a little table, have drinks, have little snacks for them when they finish, and basically it's free marketing. Those people have to end their ride at your community. They are going to see it, much like the community events. but it is a smaller group of people, so you can always meet those people, you can talk to those people, and it's a really great way to build new relationships in your area. So next thing is realtors luncheons. So if you are in a big city like Miami, where I'm from originally, you can reach out to realtors, to brokers, and creating those relationships means that they will think of you when their clients are looking for their next apartment. Next thing is open houses. So open houses are not just for sale properties. You can definitely host them at your apartment complexes. In order to get people to come there that day, I have found that free applications work really well, because if they come by the day of your open house, you can talk to them, they get a free application, and you get a bunch of leads. So next thing is corporate housing and apartment locators. So working with apartment locators is great, especially if, like here, you have a big university, you have a big hospital system who, those places typically have temp staff or travel nurses, people who come to the area for a limited amount of time, and they need a place to stay. So definitely nurturing those kinds of relationships can result in some very, very easy leases to close. Personally, corporate housing is like one of my favorite things to do because it's so simple and you typically get really high quality renters. So next thing is host a virtual open house. Even Facebook has an option for this now. So you can host a virtual open house depending on what kind of leasing platform you use. I know some of them offer video tours, things like that, but you can also use Facebook. Next thing, and we're almost done, reach out to your local publications. I know you probably think that nobody reads them, but that's not true. If you have local magazines, local newspapers, see if they have some low-cost options for advertising. Some of them even let you post certain things for free every so often. Blogs, if you have a town website that posts events, that posts things coming up, you can also use that to post your community events and get even more circulation and even more eyeballs on your apartment complex. Next thing is offer incentives to certain staff. So medical staff, firefighters, police officers, your local teachers. Targeting those kinds of renters can be really great because they are more high quality people. A police officer, a local teacher that's well known in the community, those aren't really the people who are going to throw trash all over your apartment community. And it does get you more involved with people. And the more involved that you can be in your local community, the better your conversions are going to be, the more people that you're going to get to come to your events, the more people that are going to sign leases with you. And being more well known in your community does help you as a property manager, because when people know you as a respectful, professional person, they are more likely to respect you in your office just for day-to-day things, because you don't always have the best news for people as a property manager. And when they know you as someone who is involved in the community, who really cares about their community, that is going to translate into relationships with your residents. So, next thing, host outdoor movie nights or sports games viewings. So this is another thing. I know college football is really popular with the university that's here, or you can just host outdoor movie nights. So those are really fun, especially for the holidays when it starts getting a little cooler outside. There are pretty inexpensive frames basically that have roll down white background that you can project a movie on. So that might be something really fun. Residents love this kind of thing, and it's another community event that you can advertise to everyone in your local area. And besides getting the projector, and you can usually find some for pretty cheap, and the background to project it on, you can host them outside. And you don't really need to provide anything else. You can have people bring their own blankets and chairs, so it's fairly inexpensive, and you can host a lot of them over the year. So once you buy your projector and your background, you're not constantly having to buy new things to host the same event. So, next thing is join a Chamber of Commerce or a Rotary Club. So I would highly recommend this, but I wouldn't recommend it unless you're willing to put the time commitment in. So, especially with the Rotary Club, for example, that is really based on volunteer work. So if you don't have the ability to go to the meetings, to really stay involved in the clubs, don't sweat it. There are other things that you can do, but if you do have the time and the ability to volunteer and to be involved in those things, that is a great option. One, you're doing good for your community, but also you are meeting people and forming new relationships. And those people are going to want to refer people to you when they know of someone that's looking for an apartment. So, last 3. Partner to advertise on packaging. So if you have a local pizza joint, you can partner with them to send out flyers for every delivery that they have. And this is something that can be done super inexpensively, and I would definitely highly recommend this if you are in student housing, for sure. Get on those pizza boxes. Second to last is sponsor a high school sports team. So if you have local schools, which I know you do, you can become a sponsor for one of those teams. And that is another great way to meet teachers, to meet people in the PTA, to meet those, principals, vice principals, those people who probably know of, have kids that need to rent in the area, know of people going to college in the area. So those are really great people to know. And last thing is make merch. So you can make masks that have your community logo on them, or that say, ask me about your next apartment. You can make t-shirts, and my favorite, and I'm actually about to do this, is to make dog merch. If you have pets, if you have dogs, I'm gonna make little dog t-shirts, because I go to the dog park almost every day, and I meet so many people there. So your dogs can even rep your apartment community. And I love the people that I meet at the dog park personally. They're all so nice and so fun, and I love taking my dogs there. So meeting people there is super organic anyway, and can be another great way to tell people all about your amazing community. So if you have any ideas to contribute, comment down below. I would love to hear about them. See you next time.